So for first time or novice, maybe even medium experienced users of curing ovens with PID controllers, this video is for you. So when I received my Built American Equipment ovens, I didn't know anything about ovens or PID controllers in general. So what I did was I've applied a stencil to this my Snake River Rifleworks sign after I Cerakoted it, put it in the oven, burnt the hell out of the stencils into the substrate, and I spent 2.5 hours scraping off the cured stencil to the logo with some Goo Gone. It was horrible. So today, you're going to figure out by watching this video to avoid those mistakes. So when you go into user parameters, you can auto-tune it if you want to, which you probably should. But then the biggest thing is you want to remove the integral on the right there, and then the scale reset to 0. And what that's going to do is, if you have those set from the auto-tune, if you open the door a few times, what it's going to do is accumulate that error, and then the next time that you open the door and shut it, you're going to have a runaway oven where the temperature is going to get way too hot, and that's going to lead to ruined work, over-cured stencils. So you're going to have a really bad day. So this is the general user parameter screen. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the advanced parameters. In my advanced parameters, I have OP 1, 2, and 3 set to 70%, because I generally don't need these powder coating or curing ovens running at full throttle. You're gonna have reduced life on your elements. You're gonna have potential overages. So I just wanted to do 70%, as it's a good range to ensure long-term life of the elements, and then also from a safety perspective of not having letting your system have time to accommodate the temperature changes. Then how that translates into a recipe, I was doing some Miami Vice themed Milwaukee knives, and they require door openings multiple times as there's a substantial amount of parts. Here's a huge rack of parts that I did. Just imagine the frequency of door openings. So what this recipe is set up to do is give 100% in the first sequence as we're getting up to temperature. And remember, 100% is matching the 70% in the OP. And then when we get into sequence 2, it's going to be a 70% of that 70%. So it'll be that respective percentage that way. And then so it'll take just a little bit to get up to temperature, but it's going to gradually do so instead of over ramping and having that integral go full throttle with the potential to overheat things up and then have a runaway oven. This is my other recipe that I have for 400, because I do some powder coating in these Cerakote ovens, and the next layer of temperature is 400 degrees, and I still follow that. On these higher temperatures, I'll follow the 100% and then 70% on the sequence 2 through the remaining, and on some of the lower temperatures, I even reduce it to around 60. And one key thing you want to remember is you have to tune these ovens so when you run it up to your highest temperature, let's say it's going to be 400 degrees or 450 that you're going to cure at, what I would do is take a temperature reading from that specific range So if I'm doing 400 and it reads 417, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and put that 17 there. So then it gives a bias, so then it's going to know that it's reading hotter. It's going to recognize that additional 17 degrees, so then it's going to run a little bit cooler and actually be at the 400 degrees. When I start this stage 1, this output limit will be 100% because that's what it's set. And then we will roll into sequence 2, then it will say that temperature or that output limit in that sequence, which will be 70, so on and so forth, however I have that set. And I wanted to call out that the integral is removed in this PID controller. Operates as a PD controller and functions phenomenally. When it ramps up, it'll get to 2 to 3 degrees hotter than what the set temperature is, and it runs perfect. So just keep that in mind, that when you think just because you're removing the integral, you may be removing some of the functionality. You're just getting rid of the hazardous part of the controller when doing stencils or opening the door multiple times. And this is going to ensure that you're producing the highest quality parts. The oven is functioning as intended, and it's going to work perfect in your scenario. It's working perfect in my scenario, and that's why I'm providing this video, so then you don't have to be scratching your head, and you can have a faster time to start producing parts. Thanks for tuning in. Provide us some comments on feedback, subscribe and follow. Thank you. Snake River Rifle Works out.